So let's stop here because if not, I will really cry. Oh my god. Okay, Daniela. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your Daniela. First of all, I want to thank you again and again and again for all the new subscribers. Wow. Yeah. Okay, so why not? Let's turn this channel viral like the COVID. It was a joke, but not a joke. You understand it? So for today's video, I chose the Supreme, and the video is 13 most incredible relationship between animals and human. I have a beautiful relationship with my 3 beautiful doggies. I love them so much. So let's begin the video.
Warm and fuzzy inside, where you seek to understand it all, watching the powerful bond between humans and animals in a positive light is a fun thing to observe. Not to mention adorable. If you can see between the lines, there's almost something magical and present about it all. Here are the most incredible relationships between animals and humans. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to The Supreme, and click the notification bell for more lit content. Let's get rolling. Number 13. Man and penguin. Penguins are fantastic, also adorable. I'm not gonna lie, after learning this story, I've been yearning for a penguin as a pet. Of course, this will be one of those wishes that stays in the wild dream section, but then again, who knows? It happened to Pereira de Souza, who strolled upon the helpless animal one fateful night. In 2011, the penguin was caught in an oil spill. It was exhausted, thirsty, and could barely move. Over the next few days, Pereira cared for the bird, cleaning it, giving it shelter, and feeding him sardines. Him and his grandson, who was just a toddler, grew very fond of the adorable little penguin. Pinguim is the word for penguin in Portuguese, and because the grandson had just started working on his words, he would pronounce it as Dindum, a fitting name for the relationship that exists between the two. Forever connected by a name. One day, Dindum would disappear without a trace. The pair grew worried, but eventually assumed that he finally became strong enough to return to his family out in the wild. One day, Pierre and his grandson would be in their home to hear the familiar moan that is the call of their beloved Majelic penguin. He had returned, bigger and stronger than ever. He would stay with the family for a season in the shelter they created for him, and then Dindum would leave. To this day, he's been taking adventures to and from his family for 4 years. If that's not an amazing story of man and nature, I don't know what is.
So cute.
Number 12. Gabby's crows. This relationship will get you thinking. In 2011, Gabby was just 4 years old. As all toddlers do, Gabby would drop food often while on walks or while playing outside. Little did she know that she was forming a lifelong relationship with the neighborhood crows all the while. The crows would follow her, eat the food, and leave. Nothing new, I know. Soon, the crows decided it was time to return the favor. Every day since 2011, crows have been showering Gabby with trinkets, from buttons, paper clips, and much more. The crows and Gabby, from then on, had a lifelong trade partner. As she grew older, she began to feed the crows consciously, sharing her morning toast at sunrise, her sandwich on the way to the bus stop, the crumbs from her dinner plate. Needless to say, these crows were hooked for life, and they would crow with joy every time she emerged from a building or a vehicle. Family even joined in on the party. Their backyard was dedicated to the incredible bond the family had grown with the birds. They had bird baths and daily refilled bird feeders. Their garden became a bird paradise. Get this, the birds were even considerate enough to take their bathroom breaks elsewhere and still drop treasures, some even dropping change in dollars. Never a ton of money, but money nonetheless. Number 11. Lurch the Watusi calf. Lurch has become an international celebrity, with multiple factors contributing to this point. He is the Guinness record holder for the largest circumference of horns of any animal in the world.
They are
When animals
huge.
start breaking massive records like Lurch did, it usually draws visitors. This was no exception. People from Kenya, Japan, the UK, Sweden, Australia, Canada, and many more swarm to see the
Of
massive
the world,
horns.
let's say
By
like
the
this.
video, you can see why. These things are enormous. The owner of the Rocky Ridge Refuge and the calf have gone on to be featured on TV shows around the globe, including Ripley's Believe It or Not, The Ellen DeGeneres Show, and 3 different networks in Japan. So, to say the least, this little refuge went from small town farm to big time world renowned status in the matter of just a few
Oh
months.
my god.
If that isn't saying much about the size of these horns, then get over there and place
Don't
your
get
eyeballs
him
on them for
mad.
yourself.
No.
Though Lurch has since passed, his horns still adorn the refuge for once he once called home. What's more, the only calf to break Lurch's record was Lurch himself. His horns grew until the day he passed. Number 10. Jessica the Hippo.
Oh,
It's
Jessica.
not too strange to find a deer or a rabbit or coyote running around the wild. A hippo, on the other hand, now that's something else entirely. The hippo was one of the most dangerous man-killer animals on planet Earth, but it would also take an army to feed and
now?
take care of one. A storm had swept through the countryside and took the newborn hippo away from her mother and out into a dangerous
the tiny
world.
baby.
The family that found her
Oh.
discovered her. She was underweight, was having a hard time breathing, and still had the umbilical cord attached. Poor little Jessica was born in the
So
storm and ripped
real
away from her family at the
tiny
same
baby.
time. After deciding to raise the hippo, they knew they would gain a lifelong friend. 17 years later, and Jessica is just another part of the family. She can come and go as she pleases, even in the
Super
house. She will sit and give puppy dog eyes for a treat. It's truly a fantastic story of how strange and wonderful life can be,
Yeah.
whatever that life may
obviously.
be. Though we have much to learn about this mystical natural power, we can learn that with a little love and compassion, even one with a man-killer reputation like that of the hippo, kindness
A
will
bigger
prevail.
dog.
Number 9. Carry the horse. Animals
Oh,
have
I
an
love
innate and
his-
powerful sense of
hair.
danger. They can predict it with nearly magical properties. Needless to say, it's good to have an animal companion who has your back. Take Carry the horse, for instance. On what was going as routine ranching days can go, Fiona Boyd led a calf into the barn. Little did she know that the mother of the calf, a 1,300-pound milk cow, was growing enraged. Eventually, the mother cow couldn't take it any longer and charged at a still unknowing Fiona Boyd. In a flash, she was struck, and what she claims to be near the end. The cow's massive looming body straddled over her. She knew she was about to be crushed. A moment later, Carry the horse used its hind legs to knock the beast back. When the cow charged again, Carrie stood in defense of Fiona, and she was able to escape with Carrie protecting her retreat. After that day, Fiona claims that she and Carrie's bond grew exponentially. Who could blame her? So why did the cow enrage this time out of so many times before? Though it may seem cruel, the calf must be separated from the mother at an early age. Fail to time it just right, and an enraged mother is what you get. Unfortunately for Fiona, it was the wrong
Wait.
time. Number 8. Gobi the dog.
Gobi.
Gobi is the Forrest Gump
Oh.
of dogs. By that, I mean run, Gobi, run. And run, Gobi did. Gobi was a stray who ran and wandered for more than 155 miles before someone was kind enough to take them in. But it
Aw.
wasn't just Gobi who found a life
Who is
partner.
Gobi?
Dion Leonard found that little dog's endurance and courage inspiring, and the fact they both loved to run and defied the odds to make it all the better. When someone is looking for a running dog partner, a larger breed is usually preferred for obvious reasons. A small breed would have to take sometimes triple the number of steps to keep up with the average stride of humans. Of course, this is loosely based on size, but this is generally the case. Gobi has defied this mythos by keeping up with the marathon runner with ease. Sometimes even Dion needs a break before Gobi.
So
after
we
running
have Gobi and
155
Dion.
miles. Who knows what this little fella has endured? Gobi is truly a one-of-a-kind dog whose character is as big and as bold as his human counterpart. Number 7. Christian the Lion. In 1969,
Christian.
London traded in exotic animals. As crazy
Christian.
as it might sound, it's true. Christian the lion was a unique lion who found exceptional parents, John Rendell and Anthony Boyd.
I have my
They
own
loved him so
lion.
much they couldn't leave the shop without him. And so they raised him in their Chelsea flat, just above their Kings Road furniture shop, where they had a room of kitty litter for him to do his business. As wild animals age, they tend to
big
grow
kitty.
aggressive if they aren't allowed to roam, and run and hunt. With Christian, he barely even scratched the furniture, despite the lack of most of the requirements mentioned above. That's not to say they were terrible parents to Christian, quite the opposite. But a lion in a city, more often than not, doesn't bode well for anyone that gets caught in its path. Their fears had been short-lived. Christian turned out to be like a giant house cat more than a lion, aside from the appetite. The couple and their story have been on YouTube for years and still melts the hearts of most people that watch it. If it doesn't melt your heart, make sure there's still one in there. Number 6. Pancho the crocodile. This one is sort of nuts. Hey, I like reptiles as much as the next
no,
guy, but
no,
to befriend
no.
a croc is like asking to be eaten alive. Tip of the hat to this guy, brave enough to endure the challenge. Cheeto found Pancho starved,
Do you see
gone,
that
and with
fit?
a bullet hole in his stomach. Cheeto, for some strange reason,
Tits.
had started what would be a lasting relationship. Pancho will only take food from Cheeto. He won't hunt. To be fair, he
So
doesn't know
Pancho,
how to, because he was in
Cheetos-
captivity and at Cheeto's side for all his life. Today, Cheeto and Pancho even put on shows to dazzle tourists and the locals. I mean, he goes as far as allowing Pancho to kick him in the face, hard. For those who don't know, a croc's legs are mighty and equipped with razor-sharp claws. Even for the show, this is an extremely dangerous tactic. It also proves the symbiosis the two have and the evident love they have for one another. Number 5. Yuriko the fish. I'll be honest, I know some fish are intelligent, but to form a bond with a human is almost unheard of. That's so cool. 79-year-old Hiroyuki Arakawa has been diving the Japanese coasts and oceans since he was 18 years old. That's saying something about his experience. Not only his experience, but with his connection with nature and, in particular, the ocean.
This
You don't
fish,
die for that long
this
if you
fish
don't love what you
has
do. And
almost a
Hiroyuki reserves a
human
special
sort of
place for the
face.
deep blue in his heart. With the deep connection and love of nature like Hiro has, it's no wonder he's one of the only men in the world who can claim to have befriended a fish of the ocean. Their bond today is so close that Yuriko will only allow Hiro to kiss her. They've been swimming together for almost 30 years. And it
Oh.
all started with an exhausted fish and kind diver. Hiro found Yuriko by the shrine's gate in Japan exhausted and starving. She couldn't catch her own food. Hiro fed her 6 crabs a day for the next 10 days after. Their relationship has only blossomed from there. Number 4. Hawkeye the Labrador. There's an extraordinary
Oh my
bond between
God.
man and canine. I'm not saying this to be untrue of other animals, but you can't deny that when a dog and a human bond, there's an unbreakable trust and love. They are
True.
also brilliant, which is why around the world, dogs
True.
are trained as aides, military service dogs, or for almost anything. There are very few people who can't teach a dog to do if you know the key to their hearts. Sometimes dogs are there with us until the end, and this Navy SEAL's dog is devoted to him this day. Navy SEAL
So
John
true,
Tomlinson
so
was killed in
true.
action in Afghanistan, and his canine companion, Hawkeye, was never the same. At his funeral, Hawkeye was allowed into the
Oh
procession
my
as a
God.
final salute
This
and
is so
goodbye to his
sad.
friend.
I want to
Before the
cry.
coffin
No.
of his
Oh my
beloved friend, he
God.
collapsed and whined and clawed at the
Oh
floor.
Jesus.
The best friend in grieving, no one can deny. Number 3. Toldo the cat. It was always suspected that
Toldo.
felines were capable of seeing other worlds, different dimensions and souls. Maybe this is a perfect example. In Italy, this dedicated cat shows affection to his
welcome
dead
to Italy.
owner by delivering sticks, leaves, and paper towels to his grave. To this day, the cat returns to his long-lost owner. What other reason could this be?
Why?
How could a cat know the correct grave site? Many mysteries have arisen, none have been solved. Well, at least not logically explained. I think this proves that humans and nature are innately connected, as is with all life. We've all just never learned how to see it or communicate it. Maybe one day we'll
poor
understand.
cat.
Whatever the reason may be, it only takes a little exploring to find it within yourself. Number 2. Tommy the dog. When it comes to the unwavering loyalty and dedication, Tommy the dog has achieved more than most humans alive. I know a bold statement, but I bet you won't find too many humans who will do what Tommy has done for his companion. Bhaskar Shri, 18, died in a car accident in India. The dog whined and complained as they went through the funeral process. When it was done and all the people had left, Tommy stayed. Tommy stayed day and night, on and off for 2 weeks,
Oh my
starving himself
God.
along the way. There was just no way
Took
he would
him.
ever leave Bhaskar's
You really
side.
want to make me
Family would
cry.
try to bring him home, but he would whine and lay beside the little dirt grave. When they wanted to feed him, he wouldn't eat, just complain. When a morning commuter, who happened to be a vet, would drive, she noted how long the dog would stay in the same spot. After 2 weeks, the vet finally stopped. The dog was so malnourished it didn't put up a fight. It collapsed into her arms and was saved at the clinic. Number 1.
Oh my God.
Captain the German Shepherd. Similarly, Captain the German Shepherd could be found visiting his owner's grave on a tight schedule.
Another
That's
one.
not a metaphor. Captain, like
I will
clockwork,
end
visits
this
his
video
owner's grave
crying,
and lay
believe
beside it
me.
for hours. It turns out that dogs act like this quite often, especially if they are left homeless once an owner passes. Unfortunately, today the captain has perished, but is believed to have visited his owner's grave every day. The locals would often feed the dog and knew the dog from the story said one day he just stopped showing up. And that was that. Captain continued
we
the
begin
routine
this
for
video
nearly
with
6
the
years before
penguin,
disappearing.
with the
Perhaps they've
crocodile,
been
with the
reunited in whatever
lion,
awaits
with
us
the
in the afterlife.
horse, cow,
Humans and
whatever.
animals have
Now
a connection that we still don't
we are
understand.
ending
Some
crying.
claim it to be non-existent. With a little digging in yourself, you will find a flicker of wonder. We've just grown wary.
So let's stop here, because if not, I will really cry. Oh my God. Okay, Daniela. Okay. But anyway, oh my God. I will cry, I will cry. But anyway, this is all for today's video. Hope that you enjoyed this reaction video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, share the video, because it's free and because you have seen these beautiful animals, and the most important, please subscribe. Thank you. Bye.